Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar, to the workshop. Please put in the chat box where you are from. Can everyone hear and see me? Houston, Carolyn, welcome. Katie, we have an office in Katie too. Rosharan, Texas. Hannah, welcome, everyone. Houston, Mary is from Houston. How's everyone holding up with all this chaos? New Caney, Texas. Welcome, Rose. Great. That's awesome. That's awesome. We're going to have some poll questions open. Participate in the poll questions, and we'll start in a minute. So we have a minute to start. Okay. Sharon from Spring, Texas. Welcome, Sharon. You're in the neck of our woods, and Carla too. You're from the woodlands. Wow. So we are very close to each other. So the poll questions, please answer the poll questions. We'll start in a minute. I want to take a moment to acknowledge a few things. In these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to take care of our mental and emotional health, just as it is for our physical health. Fear is energy, and the more fear you put into yourself, the more toxic your life is going to be. So look around you. Be happy to be a part of this wonderful universe with the amazing people around you. We don't have control over what's going to happen in the future. What we have control over is now. And that is our responsibility to take care of ourselves and our health. I'm Dr. Minnie Malhotra, and welcome to this workshop. Usually, we have our events in our practice, in our clinic. We have a lot of great people come in, and I've met some amazing people. But because of the situation right now, we are doing these virtually and we are seeing all our clients virtually. And what can I say? We have been reaching more people than ever who want to resolve their health issues and take part in this and get this information. So I'm sure you're going to have a great time enjoying this information or absorbing this information just as I am presenting it to you. So before I get started, I just wanted to share a few things that what are we going to discuss in this webinar. So today we are going to discuss, in the next 45 minutes, we're going to discuss a little bit about the coronavirus. We are going to discover who is at risk, who's not at risk. I know you know a lot of things sitting at home. You're getting a lot of information. We're going to talk about the America's healthcare crisis. We're going to talk about stress, anxiety, and how it can affect your diabetes, and how you can resolve these things naturally. Stay until the end, and you will receive an option for a 15-minute free discovery call when you opt in. This will be with one of my team members who will talk about your health history and see if this is a fit or a right solution to resolve your health issues. So I really want to know the reason you're here today for. So type in the chat box, why are you here? And I'll talk about my story. This is why I am here. This is why this is important to me. This is why this kind of medicine has become a passion for me. I was obese and my cholesterol was over 250. I had tried every diet in the book. I exercised 2 hours a day, sometimes 10 to 12 workouts a week. I tried every diet in the book. Every new diet that came, I was the first one to try it. I had every size clothes in my closet. I was miserable, frustrated. I was heading towards pre-diabetes. And I even became a pre-diabetic not too long, 5 years ago, even though I was working out and eating right. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to resolve this. I had a bad relationship with food. Every food that I put on my plate, I felt it was attacking me. Till I found out what's going to work for me. Just like if I had a Snickers bar right now. I didn't have to eat it, I just had to look at it to get fat. I researched and found out about functional or root cause medicine, and that changed my life forever. I never had to diet a day in my life. I never had to work out more than I wanted to. And I was able to maintain not only my weight, but reverse all this, the prediabetes, the obesity, the high cholesterol, all these things. I also have a child who was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome at the age of 10 years. And every physician that I took her to wanted to put her on two or more prescription medications. Now, I was in that business of prescribing medications, and I didn't want that to happen to my child. That's when the rubber meets the road. That's when I decided which route am I going to take. Am I going to take the same route that everyone takes and put her on prescriptions, or am I going to do something different that can change her life forever? So we took a different route. We reversed her polycystic ovarian syndrome, and she even lost weight. As you all know, polycystic ovarian syndrome is a very common hormonal disorder in reproductive age group, and the effects carry on beyond that. And most of the women become diabetic by the age of 40 years. So I'd really like to know why you are here, hormonal health and diabetes. So Gloria, to get information how to control it and not to be on. Excellent, you will get to see. Uh, you will get to see. Brenda can't see. It must be something. Can anyone not see my or understand the video? Otherwise, Brenda, you need to check your internet. Maybe that's not working. To be more informed, absolutely. Information or is knowledge, and knowledge is power. But if you don't put this information to use, it means nothing or it's worthless. So, what about the coronavirus? As you all know, there is so much information in the CDC, in the news every day that this is the new coronavirus or the COVID 19. It's more virulent, 10 to 20 times more than flu. It's spread by respiratory droplets, and it affects a large number of people. It can infect a large number of people. So that's why we are practicing the social distancing to flatten the curve. We will talk about the at risk population, what does flattening the curve mean, and how you can be proactive. So, who is at risk? So, according to CDC, it was shown the early results out of China showed that most people who got the serious side effects or the serious complications from coronavirus were people who were older population above 60 years, who had some chronic health issues like heart disease, diabetes, lung disease, smoking, autoimmune conditions, cancer patients. They were more prone to developing complications from the coronavirus. And what does flattening of the curve mean? Flattening of the curve doesn't mean that you're not going to get the coronavirus. It just means that when you're social distancing or you're washing your hands, all those things, it is going to help prevent a large number of people getting sick at the same time. So we are all going to get infected with this coronavirus. Some people may have a mild infection, and some people will have more severe. And those people who will have more severe will have an underlying health concern or are elderly. So out of Italy, it was shown they did a research, but in NIH Italy did a research that who are the people who actually died, once they got the coronavirus, and it was shown that 48.5% of the people who died had three or more chronic health issues, 25% had two or more chronic health issues, and 25% had at least one chronic health issues like diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol, autoimmune condition, cancer, lung disease, or you're a smoker. And only 0.8% of the population who died who were healthy and they really didn't know why they developed such serious complications from the disease. So what does ADA.org says? This is simply says that there is not enough data that people with diabetes are more prone to developing the infection, but we have data to show that if you get the infection, you have a greater chance of developing complications from the disease. So there are higher rates of serious complications and death than the people without diabetes. It was also shown, that they are more likely to, experience these severe symptoms when infected with the virus. So if your risk of getting COVID-19 will likely to be lower if your diabetes is well controlled. So if your blood sugar is well controlled, if your A1C is below 7, 6.5 or below, it is going to be better. So they do not, when they you do not manage your blood sugars well, and you have fluctuating blood sugars like in 200s and 150 and 300, then you are at risk of more complications from this disease. So having heart disease and other complications in addition to diabetes will worsen. So if you have heart disease and diabetes, it could worsen your chance of getting seriously ill from the coronavirus, like other viral infections, because your body's ability to fight off an infection is compromised. So answer in the chat box. If you knew what to do, would you be willing to do your part to turn your health around? And I will answer all your questions in the end. So make sure that you ask all the questions in the end. I will not be able to look at the chat box while I'm presenting. So write in the chat box, if you knew what to do, would you be willing to do your part to turn your health around? Thank you, David, Brenda, Carla, Asherin, Amber, Rose, Sandra, Mary, John, Laurie. Thank you. So why do you keep going back into the same pattern? Why do you keep underperforming, not only in your life, but also in your health and maybe even in your business? Because you keep trying to change your behavior rather than transforming your mind, habits, and identity. So everyone focuses on what they are doing instead of how they are doing it. So unless you change your behavior, unless you change your identity, it's not going to change. So you have to change your identity. You have to be a different identity. You have to change that. So that's what we do in our practice. We just don't practice medicine. We practice a different type of medicine where we combine conventional medicine, because that's important. We have to have knowledge of that. We combine functional or root cause medicine with transformational healing. So we transform your body and mind. We change your identity. We change how you look at yourself. And that's how you will transform. And that's how you can reverse diseases. Because it's easy to say, just change your diet and exercise, change your diet and exercise, and lose weight, and then your diabetes. But if you're not that kind of person, if you're not there, it's going to be hard. So we work on not only changing the behavior, changing identity, but we also work on the other aspect where we support your nutrition and every part. So do you have control right now? Absolutely. You are in charge. You cannot control your external environment. Today it's coronavirus. Yesterday it was SARS and MERS and Ebola. And tomorrow it'll be something else. Maybe it'll peak again in the winters. But what you really have control is your today, your health today, yourself today. So the acute care model that works in our current healthcare system is working great right now. So our nurses, our doctors, they're working day and night trying to save people. That's what we are best at. What we are not good at is reversing chronic health issues. We just manage diseases. We just manage the chronic health issues. We do not reverse the diseases. So what is the cost? Let's talk about the America's healthcare crisis. A non-ICU admission is about $1,500 a day. Your total ICU cost is daily cost is $22,000 if you are admitted in ICU with the COVID-19 infection. Your total cost is around $250,000. If you are hospitalized with the coronavirus and you don't have insurance, you're likely to pay $73,000 if you're not in the ICU setting. So this is your cost. This is based on data which they have collected from people who have been admitted with the pneumonia and the flu. So the projected cost is 73,000 if you don't have based on flu and pneumonia. But what does your insurance cover? Insurance covers 38,000 up to 38,000 if you have private insurance, up to 10,000 if you have Medicare, and up to 7,500 if you are on a Medicaid insurance. So this is what it will cover out of the 73,000. Just say, for example, if you're not in the ICU or anything. So what's wrong with these numbers? There is something wrong. So even though your cost is going to be of being sick and admitted is going to be around $73,000, your insurance is only going to pay a small amount, half to literally nothing of that whole amount. 75% of the $3.2 trillion we spend on healthcare is spent on treating diseases that are largely preventable. Now, would you all agree, write in the chat box, that diabetes is a preventable disease? According to CDC, what do you think? Is diabetes a preventable disease? We spend about $425 billion a year on pharmaceutical drugs. So, prescription drugs. Seniors take 14 to 18 prescriptions per year on an average. So, does that mean that you have 14 to 18, they have 14 to 18 diseases? For every prescription that you are given, you get two more to prevent some side effects of that disease. Remember, no drug is preventable. So, if you're a diabetic, you get diagnosed with diabetes today, you get metformin. After that, you get another pill with which is starts with the letter L. Anyone can guess? In the chat box, it is called lisinopril to prevent kidney damage and high blood pressure. And then you get a statin drug like Lipitor or Crestor that will prevent you to get heart disease, strokes, and lower your cholesterol. So for one disease, you get two more to prevent. As I said, no drug is prevents any disease and no drugs come without side effects. Mary, absolutely, we can reverse type 2 diabetes. So what's wrong with this advertising? What do they tell you? How do they advertise these drugs? So if you watch the Super Bowl, which is the most watched, event on TV, how many ads do you see of these pharmaceutical drugs and of the foods like Doritos and chips? You ever seen broccoli or steamed cabbage or steamed green beans on the, as advertising? No, you are shown the foods that you're not supposed to eat, and that's what is advertised. And the medications are shown as if it's a wonder drug and it's going to help you with everything. So recently, I was watching an advertising. So I saw this lovely lady who had diabetes, and she was tired. She could hardly move, and she was, she had no energy. She was not sleeping well. She was having numbness in her feet. Her blood sugars were high, and then suddenly that she starts taking this wonder drug, and after she takes this wonder drug, she becomes happy and the landscape changes and there's sun rising and the waterfall is cascading waterfall, and then they briefly show some side effects, so about 100 side effects, and then they quickly bring you back to that happy picture and they tell you that this is a wonder drug which is going to help you with all your problems. So recently I was watching an ad with a drug that resolves an overactive bladder, and the first side effect of that drug was diarrhea. So we are treating the leaks with the runs. Is that how you want to resolve your health issue? So is there a place for pharmaceutical drugs and conventional treatments? Absolutely. That's what is happening right now, this acute care model, where you have a pill for every pill to control. So if you have a cold, you have a pneumonia, you broke a leg, you have a tumor, it's excellent. Our healthcare system is excellent. But if you have a chronic degenerative health condition like diabetes, heart disease, or high blood pressure, it's not going to work. It takes 15 to 20 years to develop a chronic disease, and it's not going to go away by just popping a few pills. So, no medication is safe. Would you agree with me? Write in the chat box. Do you agree that no medication is safe? Yet we are prescribed prescription after prescription after prescription. So, what happens? You walk into your doctor's office, you have a physical, everything is normal, and they tell you, yeah, everything is fine, all your labs look great, come back next year. The next year you come, your A1C is a little high, like it's around 5.7. And then your doctor tells you that, okay, Miss Jones, like your A1C is increased, you're pre-diabetic, so just watch your diet a little bit and come back next year. You come back next year, and your A1C is higher. It's at 6 or 6.1. and they give you the same advice. And then finally, when you get to 6.5, you're put on metformin and they tell you you're a diabetic and you have to take these prescription drugs. And all the while, they keep telling you eat right and exercise more. Eat right, exercise more. But they never tell you what to eat, they never tell you how to exercise. And finally, you get into that model where you're taking a prescription, and then for that prescription, you're taking two more prescriptions. This is a picture which shows normal insulin metabolism and insulin resistance. So when you're normal, your blood sugars are being regulated well, you have enough, you have your insulin is working well on the receptors. That's the picture on my right side, and it could be your left side. That shows that these glucose molecules, they are being transported into the normal cells by the insulin which is fitting well into the receptors. Now on this side, however, not so much. You see so many glucose molecules, the insulin receptor doesn't fit well, it is blocked, and then you have all this sugar which cannot go into the cells, and you develop insulin resistance. So you have blocking of your receptors, and that's how you develop type 2 diabetes. So do you have to take a drug to reduce your insulin resistance, or you have to, so that your blood sugar is better managed, or you have to take a drug which increases more insulin? So let's look at another page. This is how diabetes can also cause depression and anxiety, because you have insulin receptors everywhere, all over your body, including your brain. So when your insulin receptors are not functioning well, your brain cannot get enough of the cells, cannot get the sugar inside, which is needed for energy, needed for metabolism, for other functions of the brain. It cannot produce the good hormones, and it cannot produce the happy hormones, and that's how you develop diabetes. And you can have damage to the nerves also, because you don't have enough food for the brain cells. So what's wrong with this picture? This is a busy slide. This is showing you all the drugs, like the oral drugs and the some injectables which are non-insulin, which help. Now, barring two drugs, or besides two drugs, all the other drugs act by increasing insulin. And I already showed you that you have enough insulin, you have high amount of insulin, so that is not your problem to increase insulin. It is actually for your insulin to start working. That is the problem. So you take all these drugs to increase your insulin, it's not getting to the underlying cause of your problem. And then you're put finally, when nothing works, your A1C goes above 7, you finally put on insulin, which is not going to help you a whole lot. It will manage your blood sugars, but it will not reverse the chronic health issue or your diabetes, or the reason why you got diabetes. That insulin resistance is not reversed by taking this drug or this insulin. And finally, you get the complications. So you can, even though your blood sugar may be well managed on your drugs, on your prescription medications, you're still prone to developing damage to your vision, like so vision loss, damage to your kidneys, to your nerves, so your neuropathy. So you can develop all these complications even when your sugars look very good, well controlled. Your A1C may be 6.5, you can still have these. So these complications like eyes, heart, kidney, blood vessels, feet, these are all affected. So many people may think that it is hard to control diabetes, or this is hard to do. That is, I feel, what is hard? Hard is losing your vision. Hard is going to dialysis 3 times a week, or having someone take you to dialysis 3 times a week. Hard is getting a heart attack or a stroke, or being incapacitated for life. Hard is not being able to feel your feet, not having the ability to do the things that you want. Pick up your kids or your grandkids, play with them. Not being able to do that is hard. But reversing your diabetes, it's not easy, but it's not hard as those complications. So diabetes is now the third leading cause of death in the United States. It's up from the seventh leading cause. So did you know that? Write in the chat box. Did you know that the diabetes is the third leading cause of death, according to a study done at Boston University? people who are diagnosed with diabetes, have an average expenditure of about $17,000 a year. So you are spending from your pocket $17,000 a year for a disease that is preventable. So this is a cost, and it is not helping you prevent anything. So your wake up call, the coronavirus doesn't mean that if you have diabetes, you have all these health issues or heart disease, you're doomed for life. It's not that. And this webinar is not to tell you that. It's to tell you that it's your wake up call to become proactive. It's not going to work with prescription drugs. Conventional medicine gives pills and procedures which do not reverse diseases. They manage your disease condition and they do not prevent complications. Is there a better way? Absolutely. The root cause medicine, or supporting all these pillars of health. Now, usually we talk about five pillars like nutrition, hormone, fitness, we talk about stress management, and we talk about gut health. But now, because of all this going on, it's very important to talk about the immune function and detoxification too. You need all these pillars to be functioning well so that you can build a strong immune system and reverse your type 2 diabetes to where you don't need to be on prescription drugs, or you're only on the minimum prescription drugs. So asking the right questions, not asking what disease do I have, or a physician not asking you what is your diagnosis, what have you been diagnosed with. Asking the question why. Why do I have this disease? And why do you have this disease should be asked by a physician too. Only then you will get the right answers. So check engine light. Does everyone know what a check engine light is? Write in the chat box. Has anyone had a check engine light go on in your car? So what do normal people do when they have the check engine light on? Yes, there's a problem with the engine. So what do? Normal people usually take it to a mechanic or a diagnostician. Well, if he has the ability to just turn off that light without doing anything and he gives it back to you and you drive it for a little bit more, what's going to happen without doing anything? The light is going to come back on again, right? And you take it back to your mechanic and he does the same thing. So why is the light coming back on again and again? It's because the problem was not fixed until finally it breaks down. So the same thing with your body. Do you have a check engine light? What is your body telling you? Are you understanding the symptoms it's telling you? So your numbers may look great, you are on the prescription medications, but you still feel all these symptoms. I just want to talk about a client of mine, Sarah. She works in a major oil and gas company. So when she came to me, she was diabetic. Her A1C was type 2 diabetes. Her A1C was around 7. She said she was tired all the time. She could hardly sleep. She could not exercise, and it was difficult for her to climb up and down the stairs. She had applied for this overseas position, which she really wanted, which meant a promotion for her and a higher salary. Her A1C being above 7, she was going to be put on insulin by her primary care provider. And that would automatically disqualify her from going overseas because they did not allow people on insulin to be there. So after doing only 6 months of a customized hormone balancing, nutrition, fitness plan, she lost 40 pounds. Her A1C came down to 5.6, and she was getting ready to get off all prescription medication. She even started dating again. She was in a relationship and she was having the best time of her life. So answer in the chat box. If you knew what to do, would you be willing to do your part to turn your health around? So pillar number 1, stress. How many people have stress in your life? What kind of stressors do you have? We can have physical stressors from injuries, accidents, surgeries, over exercising. Athletes can also have stress. So these are all physical stressors which can act on your body, that can increase your stress hormone cortisol and can cause depression, anxiety, and even worsen your diabetes. You can have chemical stressors from the environment, from the air that we breathe, the foods that we consume. So, is processed food, can processed food be a chemical stressor? What about those packets of baby pink, baby yellow, baby blue? You find it lying on your table when you walk into a restaurant. Why are they marketed in such innocent colors? They should be marketed in black with a skull and crossbones, because one of them damages your gut, one of them damages your brain health, and the third one actually embalms you while you're living. So it is a chemical stressor. What about processed foods like donuts and things? Can they be a chemical stressor? So, what are the organs which deal with getting rid of these toxins? It's the liver and gut. Sometimes certain beverages can be chemical stressors. They can stress out your body. What about emotional stress? Do we all have some emotional stress in our life? What do we have stress from? We have stress from things that are not in our control. What do we have control over? It's ourselves and our life and our health. People say, I'll not have any stress when I retire, or I'll not have any stress when my kids leave home, or I'll not have any stress when my spouse leaves me. So, when will we really have no stress? It's when we die. So, we'll always have these stresses. So, can we help in managing our stress so that we can prevent progression of disease? So, do you believe that stress can progress your disease if you have excessive stress? So, in our practice, in our programs, we actually help with stress management. We have a mind changing, we have a thought changing MTF program. So we have a master thought formula that we help our clients with. We get their clarity, vision. We work with them on their commitment, responsibility. So not only taking care of the health part, we also take care of, of the mental and emotional part. That's how they get their results. So this is our approach, the functional medicine approach. So look at the leaves and branches. They have all these disease labels. So that's how conventional medicine looks at it on the top. So every disease, what we look at is what is the root cause of the disease. What is it? Not sleeping well, stress, you have your gut health is bad, your genetics, toxins, poor diet. What could be the cause? We look at the roots. So if you don't have healthy roots, you're not going to have healthy leaves and branches. So we look at the root cause of, so that we can reverse the root cause. So we understand that one cause can cause many diseases and one disease can have many causes. So are you not sleeping well? That could also be a sign of your diabetes worsening or the first sign of actually developing diabetes. That could also be due to the stress anxiety caused by the diabetes. So Julia, when she came to me, she was a type 1 diabetic. She was on 60 units of insulin daily. And she was tired all the time. Her diabetes was getting uncontrolled. After only 6 months of her individualized plan, she lost 15 pounds. Her insulin requirement reduced to 25 units, and she had a lot more energy. We balanced her hormones. She had optimized nutrition, she incorporated some fitness. She also helped We also helped her with stress management, and she was in a high stress job. We also helped her with immune functions, and so we put all those seven pillars together that I talked to you about to help her resolve her health issues. Being a type 1 diabetic, you have to be on insulin because you're not producing insulin. So you need to be on the minimum, and you have to prevent the complications of type 1 diabetes. So that was the goal in her case. Are you having any trouble, sleeping, or are you stressed or anxious? That could be another check engine light on. What about constipation or diarrhea? That could be another sign or another check engine light which could be on. Are you experiencing those things? Are you having heartburn, indigestion, bloating? These are all could be related to your diabetes or stress and anxiety. Are you depressed or anxious? This could be another sign of a check engine light, your body telling you that there is something wrong and you need to have that addressed. So your numbers may look great, but if you're having these symptoms, that means your body is not doing great, even if your numbers look great. Are you gaining weight or are you losing weight? That is also another way of your body telling you that you're not optimized, your hormones are not working well, your immune system is not functioning well, your stress levels are not well managed. What about your thyroid? Your thyroid can also be affected due to diabetes because it is an type 2 diabetes is an autoimmune condition which can also cause your thyroid to stop functioning well. Patty was a 61-year-old lady. She worked in the cafeteria, in the school cafeteria, and she had to stand long hours. When she joined, she was overweight. Her diabetes was getting uncontrolled. She was on three medications, including an injectable. I think she was on Trulicity, and she had to take several breaks during her shift at the cafeteria. And her supervisor was really getting upset with her. After 6 months, she got off two of the diabetes medications. Her A1C went down, was normalized actually, and she was getting ready to get off those medications too. She was able to stand long hours, she had more energy, she was sleeping well, her sex drive improved, and she was having a great time with her family and friends. So if you're looking to resolve your health issues, if you're looking to reverse your diabetes or any other health issues, if you have an autoimmune condition or you're tired all the time, book a free 15-minute discovery call with one of my staff members, one of my team members. This 15-minute discovery call, we will discuss about your health history and how it is affecting your life, and also to see if this is a good fit to work together. During these uncertain times, we don't want to waste your time or your investment in something that will not work for you. And we want to see if it's a good fit that we can work together. After this free discovery call, you'll get an opportunity to book an hour consultation with me, where we will sit down and we will go over your health history in detail and see how it's affecting your life and come up with a customized plan that will incorporate all those seven pillars so that you can not only reverse your diabetes but keep it away for life. So book a free discovery call. It's a free 15-minute discovery call with one of my team members. Pillar number 2 is nutrition. So what is nutrition? Why is it important? Because the food that you eat can be either the safest form of medicine or it can be like a poison or the slowest form of poison. I've heard somewhere the best medicine is at the end of your fork. Now, what is the purpose of nutrition or food? The purpose of eating food is to promote growth and repair of tissue and to provide energy. Does a donut fit into this description? Well, energy wise, it can cause you to have a high, but it causes you to crash. And growth of tissue is in a different direction, right? So a donut does not fit. What about calories? People count calories, count points, do all these traditional weight loss methods. What happens to 95% of people who are on these traditional weight loss methods? They usually gain it back, right? So you have to know what kind of food is going to work for you. It's not about calories. Someone can eat 1200 calories of a standard American diet, say of donuts, and one person can eat 2000 calories of healthy plant based nutrition, lean animal protein. The person eating 1200 calories of that donuts is going to have more percentage of body fat than the one eating 2000 calories. So what you're eating in those calories also matter. So these are some immune support foods which are put together for you. So 2 to 3 cups of green leafy vegetables, have 3 cups of sulfur containing foods like cabbage, garlic, onion, and a cup to 2 cups of different colored vegetables like purple, black, cabbage, fruits and vegetables, bell peppers, things like that really boost your immune system because they have phytonutrients and antioxidants. So pillar number three is supporting your detoxification. So these organs, liver, gut, lung, skin, kidneys, they do their work all the time. But if they don't do it effectively, if your detoxification pathways, as you can see, the liver is the major organ for detoxification. If these pathways are blocked, if you don't have enough nutrients, because the foods don't have the same nutrients as it did 20 years ago. If you don't have the right nutrients, it's not going to detoxify well. And what is going to happen when your liver is not detoxifying well? All the toxins are going to be retained in your body, right? Because inflammation, your blood sugars will be not managed well, your cholesterol is not managed well, your hormones are not broken down well, you don't produce good hormones. And if your gut is not getting it has too much of bad bacteria, if your gut health is not good, you're not absorbing the nutrition from your gut. So it's very important to detoxify. And it's not like sitting on a pot for 3 days or doing a colon cleanse like from Walmart or Walgreens. It's regular bowel movements and regular food. We just support the liver and gut at the cellular level so that every cell gets cleaned out and it metabolizes better, it gets rid of toxins, it absorbs nutrition well. So, detoxification is an important role to play in your diabetes and even managing stress, anxiety, and your hormones. Pillar number four, hormones. How many hormones do we have in our body? We have about 600 hormones in our body. Some are fat burning hormones, some are fat storing hormones. So, all these hormones have to be optimized. They have to work together in symphony. So, it has to be like a well orchestrated band. And if one organ even goes out of sync, the whole band doesn't sound right, right? So, that's how your hormones work. Every hormone has to be optimal. And if they're not optimal or they're not optimized, the body is not going to function well. So these have to be balanced well too. There are some fat storing hormones and fat burning hormones. So fat storing hormones are estrogen, cortisol, and insulin. And fat burning hormones are like thyroid, insulin, like growth factor, growth hormone, testosterone. So they can be good or bad. If they're not optimized, they can be good or bad. But we need all of them to be optimized. So, which body type are you? This is a body in which estrogen is not functioning well, or you have high estrogen levels, and you have fat deposited in your hips or thighs. So, even if you don't take hormone therapy, you can still manage your hormones naturally. They have to be balanced in the right way. If you don't have to take hormone therapy if you don't want. You can do it naturally too. This is a body in which the adrenals are not functioning well. So when do the adrenals don't function well? When your body is under a lot of stress. And when you have a lot of stress, you keep increasing your cortisol and finally it can't produce a lot of cortisol. And that cortisol causes fat deposition and you get that belly fat and you get thin legs and thighs. That's how you develop this kind of a belly with the cortisol not functioning well. This is a body in which the thyroid is not functioning well. So the thyroid is a major metabolic hormone, and if it's not functioning well, you have fat deposited all over your body, and your body cannot get rid of the fat. You're tired all the time. You have all those symptoms. This is a body in which the liver is not functioning well. So when your liver doesn't function well, you retain toxins, you don't detoxify, you get fluid buildup in your abdomen, and what causes damage of your liver? It's alcohol, infections, but most of all, it's prescription medications. It's prescription medications which actually cause the liver to get damaged. So we are talking about the fourth pillar. We are talking about hormones, and we are talking why hormones need to be balanced and optimized to get your body functioning in the right order. So if you see in this triangular picture, you can see there are some foundation hormones. So these foundation hormones are insulin and cortisol. If they are not managed well, then your thyroid and adrenal will not function. And then your estrogen and progesterone will also not be balanced. So you have to have all these hormones right from your foundation to the top to be well balanced and well optimized. And that doesn't mean taking hormones, that doesn't mean taking synthetic products. You can very well manage it with your nutrition, with your balancing your stress levels, balancing your fitness, all those things. So this is a client of mine, William. He came about 3 months ago. He was a type 2 diabetic. He was on insulin and other two other prescription medications. He was obese. He had low energy. Within 4 weeks of starting our program, he got off insulin. As you can see, he's saying himself, he halved his metformin dose. He got off the statin, and he's still working on balancing the testosterone and improving his energy levels. So he's still working on all those things, but his diabetes improved drastically from where he was within 4 weeks just by having a customized nutrition plan, balancing his hormones, creating a fitness plan for him, addressing his stress levels, addressing the stress levels, what it was causing in his body, balancing his immune function, also helping with his detoxification, and doing all together. So all those 7 pillars that I talked to you about. So he did not go to any nutritional professional, Sharon. I am a functional nutritionist, and I have a nutritionist here in my practice too. So pillar number 5 is fitness. Fitness is very important. Now, exercising is important, but it has to be right for your body. When when my clients come to me, they are so fatigued, they are in adrenal fatigue, or they have low cortisol, and they are pushing themselves to exercise because that's what they are told: exercise more and eat less, or eat right. Exercise may not be a good option at that point. So at times, your body doesn't need exercise. So you can reverse your diabetes even without exercising, because if you could be exercising at that stage when your adrenals are not functioning well, you actually cause more damage than benefit to your body. So we don't push you into exercise. We find out what's right for you. We help in building muscle, because when you build a pound of muscle, your body requires 1500 calories to maintain the metabolism of that muscle. And when you build 5 pounds of muscle, your body requires 7,500 calories to maintain the metabolism of that muscle, and in turn burns 20 pounds of fat. So you can look at it, you don't have to be work harder, you only have to work smarter. So pillar number 6 is equally important, is immune health, and especially at this time, your immune system has to be well balanced. But if your diabetes is not controlled, if you are a diabetic on prescription medication, you already have a compromised immune system. So immune health has to be balanced. Both the systems of your immune system has to be well controlled. So there are two sections in your immune system, and one which you get when you're born, and one you acquire as you grow older. So it's called innate and acquired immunity, and they have to be balanced. If they're not balanced, then, and that's what happens when your blood sugars are high, when you have chronic stress on your body, if your hormones are not balanced, if you're not eating right, your gut health is not good, it actually damages your immune system. This is a balanced immune system where your attacking cells are balanced with your detective cells. So they have to be in balance for your body to function well. Pillar number 7, or the seventh pillar that you need to balance, is your gut health. As you can see, gut is your second brain. If your gut is not healthy, your brain will not be healthy, because this influences a lot of things. It influences absorption of nutrition, it influences producing happy hormones, it actually influences your insulin regulation, it helps with detoxification. So gut health is really important. And if you have an unhealthy gut or a leaky gut where your lining is compromised, you absorb things that you're not supposed to absorb, like bacteria, viruses. You can also absorb, undigested food proteins. So I want to ask you a question. Does your test reflect your diagnosis? When you have a A1C, what does that mean? Does anyone know what does A1C stand for? Write in the chat box. Do you know what A1C stands for? It's actually a, a protein in your red blood cell, and to that a glucose molecule is attached. So when you have a protein molecule attached to your pigment, it actually can actually measure that amount of sugar that is attached to your red blood cell. But that is based on an average. So your average life of a red blood cell is 120 days. But what if your cell dies in 70 days or 80 days? Is that an accurate measurement? So actually, A1C is not an accurate measurement. And I really want to tell you a statement which you may have that aha moment. So you are usually a diabetic 5 years before you are diagnosed with it, because all they are measuring is an A1C, which is not an accurate way of actually measuring blood sugar fluctuations or seeing your fasting and your blood sugars after you eat. The more accurate way of diagnosing diabetes is by doing the 2-hour glucose tolerance test, which is more important. This is another way that we do. We test, we do not guess. So we do the right tests to we see your optimal levels and not your normal levels. As you can see, testosterone for men has a range from 200 to 800. Your level could be at 200 and you could be completely normal range, but you're not optimal. Your body is not functioning. You may be having a low sex drive, you may be gaining weight, your blood sugars are not controlled, you have high cholesterol. You have to have optimized levels. It should be above 650. Cortisol is another hormone which actually measures your stress level. And in conventional practices, this is not measured at all. So this is such an important hormone that needs to be measured. So doing the right tests really matter. And testing and not just guessing that you may have this and you may have that. So just doing a A1C is actually just guessing about your disease condition. So if you knew what to do, would you be willing to do your part to turn your health around? Write yes in the chat box. So I've told you what doesn't work. Would you like to hear what really works? So let's talk about the missing pieces together. Is nutrition important to us? Absolutely. Eating the right kind of food. You have to know what kind of foods work for you. You cannot just guess and eat any that I'm eating healthy. Is that really healthy for your body? You could be eating in a Garden of Eden, but if your liver and gut are not functioning well, they are not getting rid of toxins, it's not going to work. So you have to help your body detoxify. And it just means supporting your liver and gut at the cellular level so that every cell gets cleaned out, you metabolize better, you absorb nutrition better, you produce good hormones, and you break down toxins and get rid of them. Is fitness important to us? You have to do the right kind of exercise. You could be exercising a lot and that may not be working for your body, so you may have to slow down. You may sometimes even have to stop and just do stretching because it may be actually causing the opposite effect. So finding the right kind of fitness that will work for your body, your genetics, and everything. Balancing your immune system is more important than ever as you're seeing around you what's going on. People with compromised immune systems are losing their lives, they're getting more sick. What about hormones? Is hormones optimization? When hormones are optimized, your body gets optimized and the weight will just come off, your blood sugars will normalize. Managing your stress by doing the master thought formula, talking about your identity, actually helping you change your behaviors and habits is going to help. And last but not the least is actually helping your gut get into the best condition that it can, because your gut is not healthy. Most people with diabetes, no matter what your A1C may be, you have a leaky gut. So you have to heal your gut to get optimized results. So I've told you what works. I can tell you to do this or that. You may not remember and you will not understand. So let's look at how we do things in our practice. We treat the whole person by putting all these pillars together. So many clients come to me where they have done one or two of these pillars, but they have never done all these 7 pillars together, and that's how they don't get the results. So that doesn't mean that they are a failure. It's not they who failed, but it's the system who failed. So if you walk into my practice, which one of these pillars would you like to leave out to get into optimal health? I would assume all of them, to get into the best health of your life. So this is how we work. This is how we get the health or the results for our clients, by putting all these pillars together. So if you're looking to resolve your health issues, if you're looking to reverse your diabetes, book a discovery call, a free 15-minute discovery call with one of my team members, where they'll talk about your health and see if this is a good fit for us to work together, where we will talk about all these 7 pillars and how we can incorporate it in your health. And after the free 15-minute discovery call, you'll get a chance to book a, an appointment with me, a virtual appointment, where we will go over your health history and come up with a customized plan. And that will be only for $87. Our regular consultation is $287, but because of these uncertain times, we want to make sure that this is a good fit for us to work together, and we want to make sure that this is worth your time and investment. So that's why we've cut it down to $87. You can have a free 15-minute discovery call with my team members. And if you feel this is the right approach, then you can book an hour consultation with me. So this is what will happen after your free call. You'll get a virtual consultation for only $87, which is $200 less than a regular consultation. So do you have control right now? Absolutely, you have the controls right now. We cannot stop growing old, but we can be proactive. We can consider food as medicine to heal our body. We can address our blood sugar swings and imbalances, which we can improve heart health. We can boost our immune system. We can minimize inflammation, calm autoimmunity, and we can balance hormones. So, which path are you going to take? Are you going to take the path to sickness? You continue doing, you can take all this information and do nothing about it. You can just scan it, and you can stay sick with prescription medications, be tired, loss of vision, have, heart disease, or have low sex drive. Or you can take this information and change your life forever by booking the discovery call, where you can get your energy back, you can reverse your diabetes, you can have you can improve your libido or sex drive, and be in the best shape of your life. So what am I committed to, and why do I need to make it happen? So you have to ask yourself this question. What are you committed to? Are you committed to getting your health back? And why do you need to make it happen? What is your why? You have to understand. Your health is 100% reflection of you, of your identity, and how you want to be. So, this is a chance for you to take action by booking that free discovery call. Can you predict the future of your health? Absolutely. By ordering the right test, by determining the true underlying cause, focusing on the cause and not the symptoms, correcting the dysfunction and not altering the labs with drugs, addressing your body as a whole. A systematic approach with coaching and mentoring will get you there. 90% of your health history gives all the clues. So 90% of the information that we need, we can get from your health history. We use the tests only as tools or as crutches to guide us to the next step. So we don't need your labs in the beginning. We want to know about your health history, how it is affecting your life, and what direction we need to do. You don't need lab tests to direct your care, because 90% of what we need we'll get from your history and what you really want for your health. Tell me I may remember, show me I will remember, and involve me I will understand is a famous Chinese proverb. So I've given you a lot of information. How much of this will you remember in the next 48 hours? Only 7% by research. By involving you and helping you understand and showing you is going to get you to where you want to be. So by holding your hand, by combining conventional medicine, functional medicine, and transformational healing, and helping supporting those 7 pillars is going to get you there. So how many of you want to resolve your health issue? Write yes in the chat box. I'm going to ask you to take some action. So wake up and stop procrastinating. What is the difference between the cat and you? I know it has a beer and a remote, but the difference between the cat and you is that cat has 9 lives and you have only one to change your health forever. So ask yourself, what do you want in 2020? The skills and efforts that did not get you to your goals in 2019 will not get you to your goals in 2020. So doing the same things again and again is called insanity. So to get different results, you have to do something different, away from health insurance, away from the system that you are on, prescription medications with pills and procedures. That has not helped you resolve. So how is it going to help you in the future? So what is my investment? So these are the questions I ask. How much are you worth? Health is not valued until sickness comes along. So till you are sick, you really don't know, you don't value health. So do you want to get there and then have a cost, or you want to invest right now in your health? So a very expensive question. What are the losses that you'll have if you continue to doing what you're doing and you do nothing for the next 1 year? Talk to it. So this can actually help you prevent that cost and turn this into an investment. So what's wrong with these numbers? These are an expense and not an investment in your health. So do I take insurance? Someone asked earlier. So if you think wellness is expensive, try illness. What does your insurance cover? You're already having health insurance. Has it helped you resolve your diabetes or your health concern? If I take insurance, I have to work by guidelines. I'm answerable to insurance. I cannot help you resolve your health concern. I cannot help you with wellness. So that's not what I want for my clients. I want them to get well and not stay sick in an insurance model. So is the diet weird? Absolutely not. We eat real food, vegetables, fruits, lean meats, all the good stuff. You'll never have to count calories or count your portions. You never have to eat anything that you don't like. Do I have to run miles? No, your body may not be in a state of exercising. We don't push exercise right from the beginning. We make sure that your body is ready to exercise before we give you any type of fitness routine. Do I have to come in? Absolutely not. You don't have to ever step into our office if you don't want to. We are taking care of all our clients virtually. If you live close by, we would love to see you when things change. But as of now, we can do everything virtually through Zoom and through virtual consults. We are fully trained and equipped to take care of you, your health needs virtually. So click on the in the chat box, we have the link. Click for the free 15-minute discovery call that can change your life forever. You'll get to talk to one of my team members for 15 minutes to make sure this is the approach you're looking for. We'll talk about how all the 7 pillars and how it can help you resolve your health issues. And after this, an opportunity to come for a virtual consultation, an hour with me. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because in these uncertain times, we want to make sure that this is a good fit for us to work together. Even in these uncertain times, we have been inundated with calls and we are helping people resolve their health issues. Actually, people are walking into our office and wanting help with our health. So we want to make sure it's a good investment of our time and your energy to take to have this approach that you're looking for, and want to make sure this is the approach you're looking for. So you'll get a chance to come for a 1 hour consultation for only $87, which is $200 less than our regular consultation. So book this free discovery call, and I will be happy to see you in the coming weeks. So if you have any other questions, thank you for being such a good audience. And I really enjoyed presenting this to you. I hope you got the information you were looking for. And click on in the chat box to the free discovery call, and we'll be happy to talk to you to see if this is a good approach. So can diabetes affect my eyes? Absolutely. Diabetes can affect your eyes because it causes vision loss. It damages your retina. Yes, I'm an MD. I'm a family physician. and I'm a board certified family physician, and I'm a board certified functional medicine practitioner or root cause medicine. And I'm also certified in anti aging and regenerative medicine. Does that answer your question, Rhonda? Diabetes can damage your kidneys. It can cause kidney damage. Diabetes can actually push you towards dialysis. So more than 90% of the people who are in the dialysis unit are usually diabetics. Anybody has any question? Neuropathy? Yes, you can reverse, John. You can reverse neuropathy. So it's due to the sugars affecting your nerves. So you can regenerate those nerves, actually. Diabetes can cause blindness by causing damage to the retina. So because of your sugars, it causes damage to your retina. And inflammation and insulin resistance, they cause damage to your retina. Diabetes leads to amputation because you develop, because of the sugars, your blood vessels get blocked and you get blockages in your arteries. And because of that, you have no blood circulation goes down, and that's how you lose your limbs in diabetes. So type 1 diabetics we have impacted by actually lowering the amount of insulin. So as you see, one of my clients, she came, Julia, she was on 60 units of insulin when she came. And by the time she finished with us, within 6 months, she was just on 25 units of insulin. So type 1 diabetes, although you cannot get them off insulin, you can be on the minimum dose, you can prevent complications. So you can reduce inflammation, which can cause complications. So diabetes causes heart disease, strokes, all those things, so you can prevent those complications. Thank you, Yvette. We'll be happy to talk to you. So, Rhonda, I hope that answered your question. Pump users, yes, even with pump users, you can be on the minimum amount of insulin. So remember, when you measure your sugar and you give that yourself that much insulin, that amount will reduce. You might need a basal insulin, but the amount of insulin you take with meals will reduce. Any other questions? Yes, one of the complications of heart disease is heart attack. We'll be happy to talk to you, Rhonda. Thank you, everyone, and take care.